There is a massive wave of panic going around the gaming and piracy communities. People are claiming that if you use the new Kirigiri Hypervisor method to bypass Denuvo and play games for free, your PC will get hacked. They say that if you don't run a cleanup script and restart your computer immediately after you close the game, you will get hacked instantly just by doing something as simple as visiting a basic web page. Let's cut through the internet exaggeration because that is just flat out wrong. While it is true that this bypass requires you to turn off few of the Windows' deepest security settings, it does not mean your web browser is suddenly going to explode or invite a hacker into your system the moment you open a new tab. To understand the actual risk, we must look under the hood at how the hypervisor actually works. To understand things, you need to know how control works on a computer. Now I will try to keep things simple so they are not hard to understand. Think of your computer as a tower of different power levels. Normally your operating system, Windows, is the absolute king of the castle, running at what people call ring 0 or the kernel level. It is the deepest part of the system where hardware, memory and your graphic card are controlled. But a hypervisor is a special piece of software that can actually step below Windows to a hidden level called ring -1. Because hypervisor is underneath the king, aka Windows, it has the power to look at what Windows is doing and literally lie to it about the hardware. Now you might be wondering, why on earth do we need this just to play a single video game? Well, that is because of Denuvo. Denuvo isn't just a standard code lock. It's like a hyper paranoid security guard wrapped tightly around the game files. Now to keep things simple, imagine trying to sneak into an exclusive area. With traditional pirating, you fake a ticket at the door and enter easily. But this Denuvo security guard is so passionate with his job that he will corner you every 5 minutes while you are inside, demanding to see your ID or forcing you to write down your signature every few minutes. Faking all of that manually is incredibly difficult. A hypervisor bypass doesn't fight the guard. It acts like a mind control superpower. When the Denuvo guard walks up and asks for the ticket, the hypervisor changes the reality the system sees, making the guard a fool. Now I have tried to explain this in a very simple way, but to make things more clear, in normal pirating, the DRM is removed from the game, but in hypervisor, we leave the game as it is, but manipulate the Denuvo into thinking we own it. To give the crack this kind of power, you do have to turn off some serious Windows security features. The Kirigiri setup forces you to disable virtualization-based security tools or VBS, specifically driver signature enforcement, memory integrity, credential guard. And now if we look into things and what they actually do. Driver signature enforcement forces every piece of software talking to your hardware to have an official stamp of approval from Microsoft. Turning this off means Windows will blindly accept unverified custom softwares. This allows a game crack to load, but it also opens the door for hackers to slip hidden dangerous code directly into your computer's brain. Memory integrity acts like a secure vetting room. Windows isolates and double checks every software drivers in a safe bubble to make sure they haven't been modified or tampered before they run. Without this bubble, there is no barrier left. A malicious program can jump straight to your computer hardware, completely bypassing your antivirus software. Credential guard acts like a digital safe inside your computer. It locks away your personal pins, biometrics, and saved passwords, so other apps cannot read them. Despite the shields being completely down, clicking a link on a website still won't instantly ruin your computer. Your web browser runs everything in a highly restricted cage called a sandbox. For a hacker to take over your computer just because you visited their website, they have to successfully pull off a 3-step miracle. Number 1. Run a malicious code in the browser. Number 2. Break completely out of the browser cage. And number 3. Then grab admin control over your Windows. Turning off these settings only makes the final step easier. Breaking out of a modern browser requires a chain of rare secret exploits that are worth millions of dollars on the black market. No real hacker is wasting a multi-million-dollar exploit just to steal a random gamer's Discord or Steam account. On top of that, your standard Windows Firewall and Windows Defender are still running completely fine. They don't need the settings to protect you from basic web threats. The verdict is that a perfect attack here would actually come from the crackers and repackers themselves, like Kirigiri, fitgirl. Let's suppose fitgirl suddenly goes through a midlife crisis or whatever happens to her, and she decides to wreak absolute havoc on the piracy community. Since you trust her and she tells you it doesn't matter if Windows Defender thinks her hypervisor repack is a virus because it's a false positive, you install it and you can get hacked. However, that doesn't really happen. They have a reputation to manage and I highly doubt someone will just suddenly do do that. So at the end, what is the actual danger in Hypervisor? The real risk isn't the internet, it's you. The only way genuinely getting cooked is if you download a sketchy file from an untrusted website. Because you turned off the security guard that vets the drivers, that malicious file can now install a rootkit directly beneath Windows, turning your antivirus off and giving a stranger total control over your machine. Technically speaking, if you know what you are doing, you should be fine. Keep your browser updated and only download files from highly reputable sources. Leaving the settings off won't automatically destroy your computer. But look, if you aren't a massive tech geek and all of this sounds completely overwhelming, there is absolutely no shame in sitting this one out, or at least waiting. Honestly, staying away from hypervisor cracks altogether might be the smartest choice you make. When you strip away Windows core security systems like this, you are essentially playing on hard mode. You're deleting your own safety net. If you don't know exactly what you are doing, it is way too easy to get confused, click a wrong link, or download a fake malicious script from a sketchy look-alike site. And remember, because those deep window shields are completely turned off, if you do manually run the wrong file, your antivirus might not be able to step in and save you. Your system will be wide open to the malwares out there. If you don't feel entirely comfortable managing these advanced settings and vetting every single file you touch, the free game isn't just worth the massive headache. And there is one massive annoyance you should also know. Modern competitive multiplayer games absolutely hate this. If you try to load up online games that use heavy kernel anti-cheats like Valorant or Face It, the game will flat out refuse to launch until you run that script. So that's all for today. I have tried my best to explain the hypervisor as simple as I can, so it's not too much difficult to understand. Now it's up to you if you actually want to try it or leave it. That's all for today. See you in the next video.